It is said that when you educate a child, you educate a whole village. Most developed societies in the world are those who have invested in educating and empowering children.
The importance of electricity, yes. Come and write for us one.
It is in tandem with this that the Girl Child Network has taken the initiative to invest in the education of all girls and boys, including those with disabilities.
Katika hali ya kushona, kusoma kule waelewi vizuri. Yani kusoma tape measure, kulingana na inches za tape measure na kupima ile nguo hawajatambua vizuri kupima na kukata. Kwa hivyo nawasaidia katika hali ya kukata na pia wa kushona. Sasa ninaona wengine wameshika kidogo na wengine bado. Na mashine naona kama wanakanyaga vizuri, isipokuwa kwenda kwa laini ile ambayo inatakikana katika nguo hawajaielewa vizuri. Kwa hivyo nitaendelea kuwafunza mpaka nione kwamba wamejitahidi. Angalau wanaweza kushona kitu ambacho mtu anaweza ona ni kizuri na akavaa nguo ambayo inafanana vizuri.
The Girl Child Network, in partnership with Save the Children, is implementing a three-phased project known as Let's All Learn through Inclusive Quality Basic Education.
This is class 7 class at Idavaga, and we have 2 special needs children. One has a problem with the eyesight. One thing we are doing to her as teachers is to ensure that she's near the blackboard. And again, as teachers, we are making sure that we monitor her or her work at individual level.
Macho inaanza kunuma na mastio. Alafu ndo wanitafute dawa ndo aweke ndo ipoe.
The project aims at ensuring all children, particularly those with disabilities in Kenya, access inclusive quality education in line with Article 53 and 54 of the Constitution of Kenya on fundamental rights for children and persons with disabilities, respectively.
We have tried to levelize the ground for the physically handicapped. We've made the ramps, we've reduced the steps that were in the school, and we made ramps to make them come. Like we've painted the school for those who are visually impaired, so that the school is a bit bright for them.
Watoto wangu walikuwa walemavu na nikapata ushauri, nikawapeleka shule na inclusive quality basic education. Wamesoma pale pamoja na mradi pia umewasaidia mpaka huyu mwingine amekuwa integrated. Nimempeleka shule ya upili Sajanad Special School na pia ana interest na yale masomo. Anapenda. Akija akikaa tu hapa nyumbani, ile siku ya mgomo alikuwa akinisumbua sana, manake mwenyewe amezoea kule. Sasa ako anafurahia.
Among the project outputs, one is to achieve enhanced school capacity to prevent, mitigate and develop resilience and coping mechanisms to disasters. Such disasters include floods.
We have dug terraces across the classrooms to prevent water from entering into the classrooms. We have also tried to mount gabions at the school gates to prevent water which has been directed into the school by the road constructions which have built a culvert that is facing directly into the school.
Fire.
Been able to sensitize, create awareness in their homes about disaster risk reduction. In case of a fire outbreak, they are able to save their lives and also those they live with.
Traffic accidents.
there is a road near here in our school. So after here that the scholars, when they are going home, their young children who are in class 1, they don't know. When they reach there, they may get an accident. So we had to educate them that the road signs, we educated them when they reach there that if they can't cross the road, they tell an adult, or you shall look right, left, and then right again is when you cross the road, if there isn't any car coming. And if there is a car coming, you shall not cross the road.
Lightning and threats of wild animals and spread of infectious diseases.
Tunahimiza wenzetu wakimaliza kuosha vyoo, wanawe mikono, waepukane na maradhi kama vile bilharzia na kolera.
Some of these areas that we work with are prone to floods. Sometimes we have drought, especially in the Kwale area. We want the school to be prepared because children who have disabilities are more vulnerable to disasters. And we want to make sure that the schools are prepared so that once the disasters happen, then they are not so much affected. The schools are able to support them.
Recurrence of natural disasters in target areas has been singled out as issues affecting regular attendance and performance of learners.
Under disaster risk reduction, we work within 27 schools in Vihiga and Sabatia sub-county. Our major focus is on how to assist children with disabilities, children living with disabilities in time of disasters. So we have trained most of our 27 schools, which are 14 in Sabatia sub-county, 13 in Vihiga, on how they can cater for children with disabilities during disasters. And we are seeing the project working very well. These children can now assist their counterparts who are living with disabilities.
In order to enhance schools' capacity to address issues of disaster, Girl Child Network has facilitated formation of rights of children's clubs, ROC clubs, as part of promoting child participation on issues affecting them.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to propose the motion that says modern transport has done more harm to mankind.
The teachers, board of management and children club members benefit from regular trainings where children start initiatives related to disaster risk reduction, which are adopted by schools to fight and reduce disaster within their schools, and the skills are also applied in their homes.
Wakati nilipoanza kufuga kuku, wazazi wangu walifurahi sana kwa sababu walikuwa wanachukua hiyo mayai wanauza, wanaenda wananisaidia kulipa fees, bili ya shule.
The ongoing project with the partnership of the ROC Club
leo twashangaa mashule yakichomeka, mapepo yametuvaa huku windo likiweka, kila mara twazubaa tukipanda na kushuka, mapepo yanatutesa hatuyataki tose.
Patrons, Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, and parents' support groups has also seen schools put in place mitigation, prevention and response mechanisms that have provided a quality learning environment for all learners and reduced hazards. Phase 1 and 2 were successfully implemented in Vihiga, Tharaka Nithi and Kwale counties.
Good morning, class.
Phase 3 is in its implementation stage and targets 53 schools, 26 public primary schools in Kwale and 27 in Vihiga.
One of the objectives under this phase is to make sure that our schools are well prepared to manage and respond to disaster. So we have an objective on disaster risk reduction. And one question that we asked ourselves before we brought that objective in our project was, if disaster happens in school, if children who are perceived to be normal are adversely affected, how about children with disabilities? In case there is a disaster in school, will they be in a position to respond? How will they respond? Of course, it's about preparing the environment to make sure that it is least restrictive and it's accessible to all children. And also ongoing by the Ministry of Education and also the Government of Kenya guidelines on child-friendly schools, you find that safetiness of children has been given prominence, and so it's an area that we said we can intervene to make sure that the safetiness of children at school level is upheld.
Girl Child Network has been partnering with the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology through Educational Assessment and Resource Center to create awareness in efforts to change community attitudes towards children with disabilities and thus provide for their right to education in an inclusive setup. The project has seen increased enrollment of the children with disabilities in schools and improved quality learning environment.
The teachers, the rock patrons in the schools were trained. They even have plans for disaster in their schools. In all the 26 schools, there are plans. They have drawings drawn amongst themselves. The teachers do the plans, and the head teachers of the same were involved. And apart from that, us as officers, like now it happens that I'm in the disaster risk management in the county. So whatever I learn from there, I bring it back to the teachers when we are at the conferences and we talk to them.
Girl Child Network desires that the disaster risk reduction best practices undertaken by the project schools will be replicated in other schools by the national and county governments in other parts of the country.
In my school we have projects like planting vegetable, various types of vegetable. We have beetroot, cowpeas, and we have plants like sorghum that can resist drought. We have also activities like we planting flowers to make the fence, though they are still young, but we are weeding them and preparing them to grow. The mappings that are drawn, they're helping the children to learn how to cross the road. And when you look at the road outside, we have also made some bumps using mud so that we can reduce accidents. Last year we had an accident here. 2 of our pupils died. So we started making the bumps so that it can reduce the accidents on the road.
It would be a good thing for everybody to be prepared for disasters. So I think everybody, not only schools, really should be on the lookout and be prepared, especially for disaster mitigation. And we do appreciate whatever non-governmental organizations do towards this, but sometimes the impact is very little when a project runs for about a year or 2 and then it expires. So that's why we like to work with NGOs so that we can see how they fit into the wider ministry's plan, so that there's going to be some element of sustainability even after the expiry of the project. So we would really appreciate if NGOs can come and discuss with us even as they are designing the project, and we walk through the project with them such that by the time they withdraw or it expires, we are able to see how to integrate some of the good practices that have been observed into our programs.
Our hope as Girl Child Network and the Save the Children is to see that children know what they are doing, and they don't only do it in school, but they also carry the message at home. If it is trees, they can also plant them in the trees. If it is in their homes, they can also have pictures that tell about preservation of the environment, and that is how we are communicating the messages on DRR. And we are grateful to Save the Children for providing the resources to do this, because it's a great initiative.
Girl Child Network acknowledges the support by Save the Children in implementing of the project as we work to promote and protect the rights of girls and boys in Africa through advocacy, networking, and enhancement of community participation.
We just strongly believe nothing for us without us, meaning people with disabilities. Let's not do anything for them when we are not including them.